All right. Okay, I think we're live. Amanda, are you good audio wise?
I'm not supposed to be muted, right? One of us is not supposed to be. I feel like I have the camera.
You're
and I
unmuted.
should be.
I'm muted.
Yes,
My volume is off.
beautiful, mine's on.
Whew, it's like it's my first time. How do I do it? Wow, full house. We do a giveaway and get people out. I didn't realize February was like a dress all lovely month, and we have people with their red and their hearts. I don't know. All the cozy feels. You guys look fantastic. All right, for you Zoomers, use pins. Same drill as always. And let's kick off in the ways that we always do. Let's hear some gratitude. What are we grateful for? What's something that we can share together and celebrate? Mr. Preston.
The Broncos fan, I'm a fan of the Eagles today.
That was fun. That was fun.
Amen.
Amen. That was fun.
I would say I'm thankful or have gratitude for Stacy Gooch, who's my right hand, is for every transaction I have. And for Amanda Ritchie, who helps me out everything on ALC, culture committee. She helps me see everything through.
It's awesome. That's a good segue. So we can do more gratitudes, but our Amanda and Cassandra, it's their anniversary this month. Last week and the week before, 2 years for Cassandra and 4 years, full Olympic length for Amanda. And personally, I couldn't be more glad to work with both of you. You guys put up with a lot in working with me, and put up with a lot dealing with y'all. Let's be real. I'm beyond grateful for the steady presence and the supportive presence that you provide. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that segue. Any other wins or gratitudes that folks want to share while we're here? Anyone feeling good about their soup?
Yes.
Liz, I expected you to just bring a crock pot of coffee and.
I gotta figure out how to do that for next time.
Yeah. If you don't follow Liz on social media, daily coffee inspiration is part of her brand.
Coffee inspirations, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I call it obsession, inspiration.
Hey, whatever works.
I have a gratitude.
Yeah.
So, since it's anniversary, Amanda is amazing and patient as well, but most recently this week, Cassandra has really helped me understand numbers and all of the things in command when it comes to caps and commission and stuff. So she's been super patient with me, so I'm very happy that she's around. Amanda's always patient with me.
Don't feel guilty, it's hard.
But she's fantastic as well, and we always work together so well, so
Yeah.
both of them, amazing.
Here. Yeah, I think it's easy for us to think, oh, Cassandra's the one that does this thing for us. And if you slow down enough to say, hey, I've got a question for you, or hey, can I stop by your office? And that's true of any of our staff. That's when their genius and their kindness comes out. So glad that you have been able to partake, Megan. That's great. Any other wins or gratitude before we keep things rolling? Cool. Thank you. All right, Miss Ashley, come on up. In the red and the black herself.
Yes. So we've had a total of 9 new agents for January. We had Morgan Armstrong, that's in PC. Bill Rupp, that is in Mansfield. Madison Delane has gone to the Ross Group. Madison Mohan went to the Bagnoli Group. Alyssa Hendrick Evans went to PC. Melina Hunt went to the Ginger Team. Woo!
Oh,
Heidi Keeper went to PC.
she's chilling. Let's be real.
Yeah. Andrew Hale went to the Web Team. And Julie Hawkins went to the Jose Medina Associate Team.
Welcome all. Every time someone joins, there's plenty of work to do, Ashley, so gratitude to you and for you. What is it? And I'm gonna do a stop share real quick.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh my goodness, and I'm gonna go back here.
Don't watch.
No pressure.
It feels a little pressure.
Zoom. Share screen. Desktop.
Sorry, we just started. We just got here.
Move here.
4 years ago.
Our only witness that saw us practicing beforehand left, so.
Is that better?
Yep.
Fantastic. Nice when the thing you try works. I just wanted to give a brief note, not sure why that logo looks like that. Market mindset. So we talk about the market on a regular basis. We're gonna have a more thorough conversation in a few weeks about what we're seeing in the market. But just an observation, we've talked about winter is challenging and the market we're coming through is challenging. I looked at every month we get the Star newsletter. If you're part of Star, you get it too. And we've been seeing a slow trickle over the course of the last year where more people are dropping their licenses that are getting their licenses or joining the board. In January, it was seismic. Those getting out far outweighed those getting in. So a couple of thoughts to consider there. One is congrats, you're still going. It's been hard. It is hard. Dues have been due, lots of things that you're feeling pressure on. So I want you to know that we see you in that. But also I want to give you kind of the eye of the tiger encouragement because the piece of pie that you have the opportunity to take just got a little bit bigger. And we never want agents to not make it, particularly from a market center standpoint. That being said, for those of you who are committed to pushing and growing, fewer people in it means more opportunity to go. Now, that doesn't mean the opportunity just falls in your lap, but I want to encourage you to think along the lines of what opportunity am I getting? Who was that person connected to that I could get connected to in order to deepen my relationship and be the one that they think of? So just an encouragement as you are feeling what many are feeling in this market. Miss Cassandra, come on up, talk about some fun stuff.
All right. January's profit share was $14,195.75. Year-to-date total, very similar.
Shockingly similar. We didn't crack the top 35 for profit share yet. We're probably at like 36 because the numbers were right there. So do better, guys.
That's what we're saying to ourselves.
I'll take it. So I was curious, we're trying to, give you guys fresh inflections on what profit share can mean. And so we ran numbers on lifetime profit share earnings for this group. And anyone who earned more than $1,000, we counted. So some of you have earned a few bucks and are just getting started. But we have 74 people. So this is lifetime. If you've been with KW for 6 months or 6 years or 10 years, and even there's some people on here that actually aren't with KW anymore, but they're vested and they still earn profit share with the company. So 74 people have earned at least $1,000, 64 have earned at least $5,000, 43 $10,000, 25 $15,000, 31 $20,000, 16 $35,000. We kind of did some arbitrary tiers here. 12 have earned greater than 50,000. 7 have earned greater than 100,000. Someone who did it on his birthday just this last week, and then 3 households have earned greater than $200,000 lifetime, which is incredible. And I think sometimes whatever, profit share, but give it time and it can become something meaningful. So many of those numbers are represented in this room or on the Zoom. And if you're curious about how you can get started, or I'd love to get a piece of that, talk with me. Glad to be in your corner for that. You just crossed the threshold as well. I think there's more.
I was trying to run. All right, we actually did have more than one slide worth of cappers in January, which is wow. So Andrea Fornicola, Gina Van Orsdale, and Haley Honeycutt.
A shout out to the editing for Miss Ashley. They got the Charlie's Angels angles there. That was no actor.
That's gonna get in here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we also had Caitlin Shepherd and Scott Kelly.
Let's give it a hand. Pretty awesome.
Impressive.
You're still not that.
I know, I keep trying to run, sorry. All right, our January top producers, if you are up here and in the room, could you stand up, please? No?
You're all lying.
Come on, Ginger, come on.
Come on.
Jose's already standing. There we go. Okay, great job. Not easy and way to keep pushing. Keep going. I think that might be all we got for you.
I think so. We'll see. All right, that's not me.
That is not me. I'm the bald guy standing in for Rich today. He is sick, poor man, and so I am standing in. So I'm not entirely sure what he wanted me to say about dues, except they're due and pay them. PSA as a brokerage, we don't pay your bills, and if the MLS or the board comes to us saying, hey, you owe this much, we say that license is going back to the state. So we used to be far more flexible and give you months and months, and the board and MLS already gives you months and months, so we're kind of in crackdown mode as it relates to that. You were gonna jump in on that?
That's what he wanted you to say.
Great. Perfect. I'm not sure what he's talking about complaints. I'm gonna stay in my lane here.
That's from, so I was there for that. That's the number one complaints at the Division of Real Estate in order right now that they're receiving from people. So advertising, saying that things aren't correct on those things and some of those.
Failure to comply with the prominence rule.
The prominence that your name can't be more prominent than your brokerage, some of those things.
What about the team name and number of agents?
Trying to remember,
Scott
I know that the team name has to be on everything, but I don't remember what it was for the number of agents.
I'll let Rich speak to that. In his early morning text, he did not include that information.
Yeah,
New purchase agreement. We have a new purchase agreement uploaded in Dotloop. It's there. That's what you will find today. Lynette, it's gotta make you so happy. That's the contracts queen. Rich is teaching a class, health provided, Thursday at 10 o'clock. Canton and Zoom, per usual, so please plan on tuning in. It's one way that you can stay sharp. Most contracts are similar, but there's tweaks, and we don't want you, your first time with a contract being the time that you're sitting down with the client writing it, which happens sometimes and is embarrassing, in my opinion. One other note, so we're gonna talk briefly about social media, and I'm gonna invite up Miss Erica Chelko to share the load with me. Is we've just had we live in a more and more digital world where we portray ourselves and others portray themselves in social media, and we are individuals who happen to be business owners who happen to be business owners in this world. So we're gonna have a bit of a conversation around policy related to social media, acknowledging those differences. So I'll get started. We're gonna share a couple pages of great work that Rich has put together. So for those of you who don't know, Rich is also our broker, but he's also the director of compliance for the K1 network of brokerages. So KW Chervenik, Living and Elevate. So he's kind of helping steer the ship as it relates to rules and regs, which we are grateful for. So this is going to be exciting, and we ask for you to hang with us. So
I'm gonna act it out.
yes, she's our ASL, so you can just get started there. This social media policy provides guidelines for all agents, employees, and representatives of KW Chervenik, Elevate, Legacy Group, and KW Living when using social media. Our goal is to maintain professionalism, ensure compliance with Ohio real estate laws, and protect our brand while fostering an inclusive, respectful online presence. Why don't you take general guidelines?
General guidelines. 1, be professional as a representative of your company. Maintain a professional tone in all online interactions. 2, follow Ohio real estate laws. Agents must adhere to Ohio Division of Real Estate and Professional Licensing rules, the Ohio Fair Housing Act, and NAR Code of Ethics. 3, avoid misleading advertising. All posts about real estate services, listings, or market data must comply with Ohio advertising regulations.
All right, now we're going to talk about several areas, 6 areas of prohibited content. Number 1, discriminatory or offensive content, Ohio Fair Housing Act. Ohio law prohibits discrimination in housing transactions. Social media posts must not A, suggest a preference or limitation based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, disability, familial status, ancestry, or military status. B, include language such as great for young professionals or perfect for retirees, as it could imply exclusion. And C, use coded language, in other words, safe neighborhood or exclusive area, which may be considered steering.
2, political and religious content. Agents are strongly discouraged from posting about politics, elections, or controversial topics in connection with your company name. Company branding should not be used to endorse political candidates, policies, or religious views.
3, sexual content and harassment. No posting or sharing of inappropriate, suggestive, or sexually explicit content. B, harassment, bullying, or discrimination against clients, colleagues, or competitors online will result in disciplinary action.
Ohio real estate advertising compliance. All social media posts promoting real estate services must include the brokerage name. Personal social media pages used for business must clearly state that the agent is licensed in the state of Ohio. False or misleading statements about a property, market conditions, or services are strictly prohibited. Any advertising of another agent's listing requires written permission from the listing broker.
Next is client confidentiality. Do not share clients' details, addresses, or financial information without written consent. Listing photos must not include identifiable personal items, security systems, or confidential property details.
Handling negative comments and complaints. Do not engage in arguments or disputes on social media. If a complaint arises, direct it to Eric Chelko or Rich Cosgrove rather than responding publicly.
Best practices for Ohio real estate agents. We're almost done. Thanks for hanging with us. First, educate and inform. Share market insights, home buying tips, and local real estate updates. B, be authentic and professional. Maintain a friendly tone while upholding industry standards. C, use proper branding, including brokerage name in all business-related posts and bios. D, fact check everything. Ensure accuracy in any real estate advice, market stats, or legal information shared. Consequences of violating this policy. You may be contacted by me, by Erica, or by Rich. Violations may result in content removal, so take that post down. Corrective action or warnings, suspension or termination of affiliation with the brokerage, or conceivably Ohio Division of Real Estate sanctions for advertising violations. For questions about Ohio compliance, refer to the Ohio Division of Real Estate and Professional Licensing.
I have one helpful tip that I think may add to the advertising portion of things. Our logo is like so. This Legacy Group Realty is our brokerage name. So when it says in the prominence law that your information cannot be more prominent than the brokerage name, it is not the entire logo. It's only this section.
Oh, that's helpful.
So I
It's
think-
more agent friendly than
Yeah,
any of us act. It's great.
Yeah.
And prominent is not always size,
yes.
it's placement too, so.
It's placement, color, texture,
Pixels.
everything. Yeah. All right. I had a really great time.
Me too. Thank you, Erica. We appreciate you. Much happens behind the scenes at the hands of Erica Chalco that not a lot of you see, but she is an integral part of what we do, no question about it. Mrs. Hyatt. I'll do that before, that was very formal.
Oh, that was very.
Sam is taken with flu as well, so we're glad to have you.
Sick. Everybody's sick. I don't know what party Rich and Sam went to, but we were not invited.
Holiday party keeps on giving.
Yeah. So, do I have another slide?
Yep.
Okay, thanks. I was like, ugh. Okay, so we have some CE classes coming up. Anybody need their course? I wish more hands were raised. Okay.
Anyone not know?
I know. Okay, so February 20th and then March 20th, we have core law. So core law is coming up and then fair housing. So these ones we're doing in Mansfield. I know that's a little bit of a hike for you guys, but if you need them, come. We're serving you lunch. Great. We're doing soup and salad. And so our underwriter, First American, their general counsel is actually coming in to teach these. So really good teacher, knows the stuff, has been in title and underwriting for over 25 years. So really, really great teacher. So that is that. And then the next thing is, property tax due dates. Hooray! Okay, so we got the bulk. We don't have all 88 counties in here, but we got the bulk of Northeast Ohio, and hopefully if there's a county that we don't have listed that you guys need, please just reach out and let me know and we'll get it for you.
No one can make property taxes sound so fun, quite like Andrea.
Are you so excited right now? Unless of course you write your mortgage every month, then you're good.
Yeah.
So start
next week, February 19th, Summit, got a little bit more, February 28th, Portage, February 28th, what else is there? Close to your.
Wayne, February 27th.
Yeah, so you got a little bit of time, but if you guys want to use this, you are more than welcome. I think we have this on our page, or send me a shout out and I will email it to you. If you guys want to post this on your page, you totally can. You can share it, you can do all your Facebook, social media, guru stuff and whatever, your magic. I don't know why I'm like doing this. Your magic hands on your computer, sorry. You did a nice highlight. Just another side note, this is a resource that we have, for you guys, but on our website, we have tons of resources for you guys as agents. And as a side note, I know we've talked about this before, but the point of sale inspections, we have all of Ohio, Northeast Ohio, I should clarify, in our point of sale. So if you go to our website, click on resources, point of sale. So if you're, listing a house or even representing a buyer in an area that you're not familiar with, it might be a good idea to just take a gander in there, check and see if there's a point of sale inspection that's required. If there's a form that's needed to fill out, you can click on the link and we have those linked as well. So, yeah. All right, that's all I got.
Thank you. Great job. Thank you. Bye. All right. Jose, Rachel, now was your moment. Rachel already ready in the front row. When we post this, every time we talk about mofers, everyone's like, what on earth is that word? You better watch your mouth, son. And so Jose and Rachel together have kind of, I don't know, made a name for yourselves in the mofer space with KW.
My
I'm
favorite
excited.
word.
I'm excited for us to learn from you. Do you want me to click as you go or?
What do you want, Rachel?
Oh, I'm not clicking.
Sign. Okay, so if you don't know, my name's Jose Medina. I have been licensed for 23 years, run a sales team, do very little bit with Market Center, try not to get into these guys' ways. You want to introduce who you are?
I'm Rachel Hogue. I've been in real estate since 2006, on Jose Medina Associates since 2008. So a little bit of real estate in my day, listing partner on the team, also director of sales, so.
Cool. So we always get asked to talk about mofers and everyone's like, what is a mofer? So I wanted to share a story that happened, it was probably 12 to 13 years ago. It was about 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. I come out of my bedroom and my wife is in the living room and the TV's on and she's on the phone and she's like on the phone talking. I'm like, it's 10 o'clock at night. Who are you talking to? And I like signal and she goes, you know how you do with your spouse. And then I see that she has her credit card out and I'm like, what is going on? So anyways, she gets off the phone. I was like, what is going on? She's like, I just ordered Brazilian butt. Have you guys seen that workout? It was this, she watched this infomercial about Brazilian butts and there's like this program and a training program. I got the okay to share. Okay, and it was like program and bands and video and the whole thing. Anyways, she was like, it was only 3 payments of $39.99. That is a mofer, making an offer for immediate response, right? So on the infomercial, they were like, call, get the bands, get all the things, right? That is what a mofer is, making your offer for immediate response. Cool.
Sure is. What an intro.
You can go to the next,
Okay.
So here are a couple examples. If you open up your email on any given day, if your email is anything like mine, your email or your Instagram feed or your Facebook feed is filled with mofers. Here's just 3 that I pulled up from mine. This is a whey protein that they think I work out. And so they were like $29.99 and you get this for free, a Spartan race. Sign up, and then the last one is Southwest, which is one way as low as $69. These are all items that are saying click here and you will get something, right? That's what a mofer is. So we're going to talk through what some real life mofers in real estate are, as well as how you can implement them into your business on a daily basis. Okay.
So a little bit of background before we get into actually creating a MOFR, because we are gonna talk through that as well. There are 2 questions. So MOFRs are very much, if you want additional information, if you don't get enough here today and you wanna just learn so much more about MOFRs. Shift book, look in the shift book. There's a whole section on it. It's like page 58-ish. But you wanna answer 2 questions with the MOFR. One, why would they want to contact you? And what do they get if they do? Okay, so that's what the questions you're answering when you're figuring out what MOFR should I be offering or what is a MOFR for heaven's sakes, that type of thing. 2 questions. What would they, why would they want to contact me? You, and what would they get if they did? Okay? Questions answered.
So I think when I go on my Facebook, it's filled with realtors, and I do see a lot of marketing out there, but it's marketing that falls more into the branding category, right? And here's me at an open house, here's me with my buyer in front of their house, and they're excited because they just got their keys. That's all good, but what we're trying to do is solve the number 1 problem that real estate agents have. The number 1 problem real estate agents have is getting in front of highly motivated buyers and sellers, right? Right now, not 6 months from now, not 12 months from now, but right now. And that's what MOFRs can do for you, is they can generate instant leads right away that you can actually talk to because they're wanting something from you.
There's 2 kinds of MOFRs as well. There's direct and indirect. So direct means you're gonna get a response right now. If I have a house for sale and somebody inquires about buying that house, that is a direct MOFR. I'm looking for a business to buy or sell a house in that very moment. So their reaction, their action to the questions I'm asking are going to get me business or could potentially, depending on your conversion rates. Indirect is I want to build a relationship with them. I want to get in contact with them so I can build that relationship so that they can buy or sell in the future. Okay, so direct means action right now in the fact of not that they're getting something, but that they're actually going to do business with me now. Indirect is we're going to do business in the future, but I want it to get in contact with them.
Cool. So Mark, when he asked us to do this, first of all, he asked me to do this and I was like, I told him yes, like 4 months ago. And then Cassandra was like, hey, you're speaking at next week's meeting. I was like, I didn't know about this. Mark.
I pull up the text thread.
He just
Pull up
screenshot
my
it and
receipts.
sent it to me.
Next time, send it to me.
So he said, bring it down to a level where people in the audience right here, right now can like leave and like within a week, we can actually implement this, right? Like this is something that is on the shelf where you can grab and actually go do it. Okay, so there's really kind of in our mind, there's 4 steps to creating a MOFR. So the first one is like identifying what the actual obstacle is, right? And so Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, Mr. and Mrs. Investor or Builder, because those are our clients, what is their obstacles when they are in the market to buy, sell, invest, build? Throw some out there. What are you guys seeing as obstacles for buyers or sellers?
Affordability.
Affordability? Yep.
They don't know who to call. They don't know an agent, they don't know.
Yep. What are buyers struggling with right now?
Inventory.
Inventory? Yeah. Sellers, when I think through sellers and what they are struggling with, we come across people that want to sell, but don't want to go through the headache of showings. We see sellers that want to buy and sell at the same time, right? And that's a tricky spot for them. We see sellers that, what else are some of their concerns?
Those are the big ones.
Those are the big ones? Okay. And then investors are looking for properties to flip, good investments, stuff like that, right? Those are their hurdles. So now we identify the obstacle, then the next step is to originate the solution. So you want to talk about that?
Sure. This is where you're actually finding the path to solve the problem, right? So this is where you come in, this is where you actually, your expertise, your knowledge of the real estate market, this is where it comes into play. So it could be a new service, it could be a new system, it could be new communication. But now you are figuring out, how do I solve this problem? How do I buy and sell at the same time? If that's a concern for a buyer and seller in the market, right? What do we do? How can we provide a solution to that?
So early on in my career, I knew that I wanted to work with real estate investors. The reason I got into real estate was not to sit down with so-and-so and sell their house. It was because I wanted to do real estate investments. And I wanted to work with real estate investors as well. So my solution was, my thought pattern was, how can I get into relationship with real estate investors, right? People that are not gonna do one transaction every 7 years, they're gonna do 7 transactions in 1 year. That's what I wanted. And so one of the early MOFers that I came into was every Friday, I would send out what would be a hot buy list. Now, these are just properties that I saw on the MLS that had potential for a real estate investment. They would make a good rental, they would make a good flip, whatever the case is. So my MOFer was anytime I came across a real estate investor, I added them to that list and they felt exclusive because they were on the hot buy list. Does that make sense? I would advertise it out. I would do that because I was gaining a population of people that I wanted to work with, and I was making them an offer for an immediate response. Hey, if you want to sign up for this, Mark, and you're looking for a real estate investment, I can send you weekly ones that are going to make a good investment based on what you told me. That's an offer for immediate response. You can do that through social media. Well, that's actually the next one.
Calm down.
Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So now it's time to market your message. So you got to get your message out to people. The whole point of a MOFer is to get people to be contacting you, right? So you want to reach out, you want the masses to know whatever you're offering to solve this solution to make life easier as a buyer and seller or an investor in real estate. You want to make sure that people know about it. Okay, so that's what you're doing at this point. Market the message. You have to clearly state what the problem is and how you're solving it. This is why they need to be contacting you specifically, so that you're their agent of choice to solve that problem. Like, oh my gosh, how did they even know that I'm dealing with that, or I was concerned about that? I must call them today. Right?
Yeah, so the obvious scenarios are social media, obviously, but it's really about carrying that message out to all the different areas. So if you're doing an open house, what advertisement do you have there to make sure that the buyer knows that you have some type of MOFer? So for us, it could look like we have a hero benefit program. So it could say on a sign in, are you a veteran? Are you a nurse? Or with blah, blah, blah. Scan here for a QR code to find out more about our program. And then they have to sign in, give us their information, and then they find out about the benefits that we have, right? Going back to the investor thing, it's getting in front of areas. So like for me, what I did was I went to a real estate investor networking association for like 7 years and just built out a massive database of real estate investors, right? And just because that's what I wanted. But it's in everything you do. If it's for sale by owners, it's expired, it's making it known throughout all of it. I see the biggest thing I see is people try something and then they do it at one open house or one post. Doesn't work, right? It has to be very consistent over time, et cetera.
It should be part of, like, as you're messaging, like it should be in everything that you say. So when you're calling a client, you're touching base with them, you're doing the forward script. It should also be, hey, I've got a brand new program I want to make you aware about. Keep in mind, this may be somebody that just bought a house with you 2 months ago, and so they're probably not going to use that program. But who do they know that they're talking to about buying a house recently? That they can say, oh my gosh, my realtor just implemented this brand new program you got to know about. You got to reach out to them right away.
The other thing I'd say to that is the more unique it is, the more results you're going to get. The more unique it is, the more results you're going to get. So the most common MOFer in real estate is a free CMA, right? That feels like that was 20 years ago. But that was a MOFer. There was advertisements that said, want to know what your house is worth? Call me for a free CMA. That's a MOFer. It's pretty weak, right? Because you can go to a website so you're not going to get many results, right? So the more unique you can make it, the better results you're going to get with it.
Or plussing it, making it better.
Yeah.
Or can we move on to the last step?
Yep.
So last step is actually be open to change. This is one thing, for example, we have a MOFer, rent-free, well, it was rent-free in 23 and rent no more in 24. We couldn't find anything that rhymed with 25, so we just got rid of it. Not really. We could have figured it out, but like, it wasn't prevalent, it wasn't necessary in this particular market, so we're gonna retire it. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna get rid of it forever and lose all the documentation on it, but we definitely retire MOFers now and again. So that's one that isn't prevalent in this time. You also need to be asking your buyers, your sellers, if you have other agents on your team or even just a collaboration in an office. Like those are the people, when you hear somebody grumbling and complaining about something, like I can never find a house that my buyer is looking for. What is that problem? That problem is there's not enough inventory, right? So like you have to interpret what those grumblings are and what the problems are into how do I fix that problem?
The other part is that as the market changes, you'll start to see different opportunities for different movers. So for example, we have a program called Sell It Now where we buy houses. But you would not even know we had the program from about 2020 till about 2022. Why is that? No one wants a cash offer.
Yeah.
When you can put the house on the market and sells in 32 seconds, right? It was irrelevant. It wasn't good for the market. As soon as interest rates started to change and the market started to change, it was like someone turned the faucet back on for that program. Does that make sense? So.
The other thing is to adapt it. You can have a program, we have one, it's called One Move, that like was set up one way and we actually realized that it was too confusing. It didn't actually make sense to our clients, and so we kind of shifted how it worked. And now it's a beautiful system that everybody can appreciate and take advantage of and all that kind of stuff. And it's a lot easier for agents to explain, right, Aaron? So be open to change. Like you've created this, it doesn't have to stick the way it has always been. It can change, it can adapt. So be open to that change and the conversation for it.
That's all we got.
Plug one other thing that you can listen to the Millionaire Real Estate episode, I think 52,
38.
38, okay. That's what they talk about mofos.
Yeah, and I think one theme I want to underscore with what you guys have done is frontline obsession. And so I think all too often we say, oh man, I'm just struggling with this client. We're experts at just worrying about our particular situation and acknowledging, okay, yeah, I gotta help this client with their particular challenge. But I think part of what you guys have done is saying, okay, they're not the only ones that are dealing with this. Wait, do you also have clients that are dealing with this? Oh, this is a theme. And there's at any given time, there's only a small handful of themes.
Yep.
How do we programatize or whatever, as opposed to just obsess over this one client's issues?
Yeah, and then package it too, like program it and then package it out there and make it an attractive thing for someone to actually want to like inquire about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Question or two or three for Jose and Rachel while we got them. Objections?
They can handle those.
I know. Awesome, appreciate you guys. All right, Miss Amanda. Should I
Hello.
switch this back over a little bit?
It still looks good.
Okay.
Jose tried to run away from the camera and I followed him. He was completely out of frame. I fixed it, it's okay. I kind of thought you might be going on purpose. Hot buys list, I love that. If anybody wants to put one together in Command, that is where my mind went, and it would be something we could put together, so let me know if you wanna do that. What I'm gonna talk today about is referrals in Command. So, if you're sending a referral, actually a good place to find one is in Command. I really like this a lot because you can search anywhere, in the country. And you can pull up a list of agents and vet them yourself for that particular area that you're trying to refer somebody to.
I asked Amanda to teach this because I probably every 5 days I get a text from one of you saying, do you know someone who lives in this place? I'm like, nope, but in 30 seconds I can do it. And so this is the process that I do every time you guys ask me.
Yeah, I've had Mark vet a referral for me in here, so I can personally attest that you can. Yep, me and Cassandra. You'll see it on the Facebook group all the time. Not that we don't want you guys in the Facebook group asking for referrals, but this is also another way to do it. I made a fun little video for you guys, and I'm just gonna kind of talk over it. But if you go into Command and you go into the referrals applet and you find your handy dandy map, you can search anywhere that you would like. I picked Nashville, Tennessee. So when you go to Nashville, Tennessee, I didn't know anybody there that sold real estate, but now I know 494 people who do. You can actually filter the results. So if you're looking for somebody that sells a lot of homes, you can do closed units in this particular area. It'll even pull up, is this person a luxury agent, all that good stuff. And I clicked on Dawn. Dawn doesn't even give me a bio. It doesn't give me much to go on. I'm moving on. I hope I clicked somebody else. Oh, good. I clicked Rob. Rob has a little bio. I can tell he's been to Bold 13 times, which is why I picked this one. I remember. KW 11 years, gives me a little bit about what he's about, and then I can call him, and if I like him, I can start doing business with him, or I can move on. Apparently, I did want to move on. She was just as good. And so you can give a call and see kind of which person would work best for the clients you're referring, which person you kind of got that good feeling about. I know Mark has a tip that he sends a text first to kind of see their responsiveness level, which I really like that idea as well. So just a fun little thing that Command does. If you guys are wondering what your profile looks like, if people search things in Canton, let me know. But when I set you up, I would have made sure your profile looked good so that people weren't skipping over you. But if you're worried about that, let me know and we can make sure you're looking good. Yes, Diana.
What's the difference with the red and the green?
Good question.
The green is multiple people in that area.
I think the more you zoom in.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Thank you.
8 months into the role, and Amanda can use hands-free mind control of the computer. Pretty wild.
I think I went slow enough. I was worried about that.
Mark, what do you say in your text you sent?
I say, hey, Joe, Mark Sandvig from KW in Northeast Ohio. I'm looking for a referring agent who's willing to pay 25% to help my buyer. Are you available for a few minutes? And I'll typically send that out to a couple people, and see who responds.
So you're asking them for a phone call, correct?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have a 5-minute, like, hey, cause if my client it's a unique situation, like, hey, I want you to know that it's a downsizing and there's some, there's some delicateness to it, like, I wanna feel it out.
Yeah.
If it's like, hey, I hardly know this person and it's a softball situation, I may not bother to do that. But yeah, I'm typically gonna have a 5-minute conversation. Let's try this again, still screen sharing. Thanks, Amanda.
Anytime.
And then for those who haven't done it before, we have a referral document in the miscellaneous or in the office forms folder of .loop. So you would send a referral form to that agent, to their broker, send our W-9, etc. Hey, Glenn.
Cool, hey, how's it going?
It's going, man.
All right, how's everybody doing? Everybody good? Okay, good. Well, let's start with rates. Because I would say probably, 4 or 5 times a day I get called about rates and kind of what's going on with the market and, and things like that. So, all right, so with rates right now, they're at about a 6.875, 6.95 based on, today's pricing. So that's actually a good thing, okay? Because we're starting to kind of see, some of the indicators, like the tariffs, I'm sure you probably heard, have been kind of postponed for a little bit, which just kind of helps with overall, not just the inflation, and not just a jobs report, but those kinds of things can really be an indicator on where the market's going to do and what rates are going to be like. So we got a little bit of a break. So hopefully, as we kind of trend more into the springtime, into the summertime, rates will kind of, start to, benefit a little bit more, but it's going to be probably a steady, slow raise as opposed to, bing, bang, boom, let's go now. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that just because, it's always a hot topic where rates and stuff are and things like that. And then surprisingly too, over the last, I would say probably a couple of months where, the weather's been kind of cold and kind of crappy, I've been getting a lot of clients asking about energy efficient types of appliances and things like that. What can they do to get like their heating bills down and those kinds of things. And Cross Country Mortgage now has a new program. It's called the CCM Easy Green, which allows borrowers to actually finance in Energy Star products and appliances, for their homes to make it more efficient. And so very, very cool, something new. I just like to at least let you guys know anytime we have a new update, anything that we can do to help your clients even more. And just, kind of separate us, from our competition and things like that. Cross Country is going to come to the forefront with that kind of stuff.
Energy Star is not a brand, it's like a rating.
Yeah, it's just a rating.
Yeah.
It's not like it's Kenmore or, something like that. It's just an Energy Star rating. So it doesn't matter really what the appliance is, but it's just that rating. So very, very cool. And then this month here towards the end of, I think it's February the 27th, I'm gonna have my VA class. I'm gonna go over not just standard VA loans in the process, but what's new and what changes are gonna be happening with that too. So those of you that have a lot of veterans you work with that do VA loans, I'm gonna go over some great details and some new updates and stuff on that. And then last but not least, I know not many of you are going to a family reunion, but if you are, we're gonna have a pretty epic a party for you guys and for the K-Dubs across the country. So looking forward to, that and those that are making, hopefully you come join us and we'll see you then.
Wednesday night, right?
Yeah, Wednesday night.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be, I think it's gonna be from like 5 until about 11 o'clock or to be determined. Whether have some fun.
I feel underdressed already.
I know, right? Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I was packing last night actually, and I'm married to a woman who's very much like every single article of clothing you pick you got a game plan for it, like we're not wasting any space. Will this be appropriate? I don't know. We'll find out. It's that time. All right, so as a reminder, we have done doing something fun and different this year where if you closed a deal in the preceding month, so people who sold a home in January, you're entered into a drawing. So we've got the list pulled. This year it's this month, excuse me, it's date night themed. Might be a little late for Valentine's if you don't have that planned. I put a few on there based upon where you live. So some of you say, hey, I'd love to get up to the Marble Room or Hudson and Essex, which is a great place in Mansfield. Obviously, Gervasi for those that are more local, $150 gift card. So a nice evening for you and whomever you choose. Cassandra.
They have to be in the room.
Or
on
have to
Zoom.
be in the room or on the Zoom. So if I call a name and they ain't here,
We're moving on.
and we did that with the trip giveaway 2 years ago, if you remember. She was actually on a plane when we pulled her name. And that was the year
That's okay.
Tom won, I think.
Yep.
All right, so I am going to the wheel of names. Everyone who sold one is in here.
It's right.
It's right. We were checking before and it's like no one's name that's actually here. All right, here we go. Big money, moment of truth.
No whammies, no whammies.
No whammies, no whammies.
In the room.
Can't see that far. Eric Henry.
Oh, he's not in the room.
I am on Zoom.
He's on the Zoom.
All right. Anyone deserves it if you, Eric. Congratulations. Eric and his wife are navigating a lot right now, going through a lot, and so well deserved. Congratulations. And we will get with you as it relates to which place you prefer. We'll make that purchase today. Anything you want to add to that?
We're gonna do 2 this week.
But wait, more. 3 easy payments. Oh, man. All right. I don't know if I'm talking about this. Who's talking about this?
Eric.
Eric, it's Roby.
Oh,
Good job,
Mercedes.
Rachel.
I'm working on that.
Mercedes again.
Oh.
They're all made up. $125 a piece.
What's that? Oh,
Thanks for buying the square.
hey, great. I was trying to make these. You're prospecting hard for that. And I felt good. I had a 7 and a 3 this year, but
I know.
Aaron shilled the Super Bowl squares hard. So thank you to Aaron. And we were able to raise $500 for Culture Committee.
that's awesome.
In addition to providing the payouts. So
Yep,
thank you
that's
guys.
awesome. If you think of Mercedes, she was here and she had to scoot because her mom had a medical emergency. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers. She said she'd send a text, and her soup is here. So if you want to vote for her, you still can this afternoon. If you're not registered for family reunion, yesterday was the time. I'm excited for the group that we have going. For those that aren't going, I think I put this on the next slide. There is a digital family reunion, which you can actually register for yourself. It's $129, which is a fraction of the actual price. And it's kind of picking key highlighted sessions each day. They're not doing breakouts. It's kind of focused sessions. So we will be doing a stream here at the office on Tuesday for Gary's vision speech, which starts around 11:15, which is 8:15 Pacific time. And so come on in, watch it. Am I wrong on that, Jose, or is that just too early?
No, I'm just stating that it's 8:15.
Oh, yeah, Gary just like, let's get up and get at it. You know, you're not, yeah. There are other ones that we may also find ways to stream, but that's gonna be the core one. And for those who are newer to KW, that's when he gives his take on the market and what it should mean for your business. It's worth its weight in gold. That QR code, excuse me, gets you into the registration where you can do the digital registration if you want to do that all by yourself. Beyond.
Mark,
the
have you
stream
done the
on Tuesday.
digital version before? How is it?
I did it the year that it was only digital, which was 2021. And it was, I mean, good, well managed. Yeah, the AV is, you're gonna be spot on. You're gonna hear everything, see everything. And the selections that they've made this year, like there's a Phil Jones session, which is always gonna be fantastic. Vision speech, like they're picking the right ones. So. Worth consideration. Education Day is coming up in a couple weeks. We were talking about optimizing your taxes. So a bookkeeper and a CPA will be coming in, talking about best practices and how you can dial in, get a little bit smarter as it relates to that. So get pumped. Everyone loves tax season. I mentioned earlier that we're gonna have a market of the moment conversation. That's 2 weeks from Thursday. Jose and then the team leaders of the various K1 offices will be leading that. And the timing of it's perfect because we'll be fresh back from family reunion with a lot of that material as well. So looking forward to that. That's Zoom only, 2 p.m. on that Thursday. Awards night coming up. Many of you have registered. First wave of invitations is for those who are receiving production-based awards. If there are extra spots left over after that, we'll make them available come Friday. So we're not sure if we will because we've had pretty good participation from that. The theme, people asked about the theme. It's red and black, which isn't as adventurous perhaps as Decades was last year. Nobody needs to see me dressed as a sailor again. So having fun within the red and black. You'll get kicked out if you're wearing anything else. Wow, that was. You're out of time. Anyone have any jokes? No. Thank you for being here. Amanda, or can anyone give us a rundown on how the soup situation's going?
Voting.
Yeah, please just make sure you vote before you go so we can have a winner. Winner has a fun apron they're going to win.
I've always wanted-
And I believe a prize, Ashley.
Yes.
Yes.
And yes, digitally delivered gift card.
Beautiful.
There we go.
Perfect. Yes, so please enjoy and vote.
Fantastic. Education committee, for those who are staying for that, it's gonna be smidge later than normal to account for that, 12:45 in here. We'll call it. Thanks all.
Has this ever happened? I don't know.